Hey everybody, thought I'd make a little video on about longbows or bows in general. Just what is the best bow? What's the best bow for you? Well, I can't answer that for you, but I have a few of my longbows right here and some selfbows, and it's embarrassing to say, but this don't knock a dent in them right here. I've been doing this 40 years. But anyway, I thought I would go over show you every one of these bows right here, and show you what I like about them. And then at the end, I'll tell you which one is the best for me. How about that? I do enjoy shooting every one of these bows. I like to hunt with them, and some of them I've killed animals with, and some of them I haven't. But anyway, let's get started right here. I think we'll start with the let's start with the self bows. I got here. This is the self bow is made out of winged M. It's a beautiful bow too. It's got quite a bit of string follow. It's not got a little shelf deal here made. It's not fire hardened, and it's probably 50 pounds at 26, which is my draw is about 25 and a half. It's a fine bow. I've not hunted with this bow, but I intend on killing a deer or a hog with it this year. Fine bow, winged M. Beautiful bow. And what I like about it is it's a primitive bow. The challenge of hunting with it is what I like about that bow. And it shoots hard. It shoots plenty hard. It's got string follow, and it slings the arrow with authority. All right, next. This is the ugliest bow I own. I call it Naughty. I made this bow with a hatchet. My good friend Hatchet Dan Beckworth, he got his name. He's the genius on making bows. He's a big heart. I was at a shoot recently, and he had 4 or 5 guys out there building their first bows, and he was giving them hands-on. A lot of patience he has, and he helped me with my first successful Osage bow that I killed my 3 deer with last year. It's not tillered perfect, but man, I struggle building hickory bows and fire hardening them and having them stay together. And it's not the process, it's the processor. But this one, you can't tear up. I even left it strung one time by accident on top of a hay bale, and it rained that night in the humidity. I come back, unstrung it, it had like 1 inch of string follow, and now it has very little. I mean, this bow's been shot to death, and it has very little string follow. And that dip right there is in the limb. It's not really string follow. Made it with a hatchet. It came out too light. I don't feel comfortable deer hunting with it. And what I like about it is how I made it. And just a fine bow. It shoots good. I don't have range on it. 15 yards though, I hit what I shoot at every time. I may take it squirrel hunting or something around here one day. All right, this bow is the Osage bow I recently made. And I love this bow. It shoots good. I've taken it hunting a couple times and didn't get a shot. It's one I was hunting with when I hurt my leg, which is well, by the way. I'm at work now, or back at work. But I can't wait to hunt with this bow. It shoots good. It shoots about like my hill bows, maybe a shade slower. And I bent the limbs. You'll see the flat spots in the limbs. It's where I bent them. I heated them and bent them. And but it tillers good, shoots really good, fine bow. It's probably 50 pounds at 25. And I like this bow because of the challenge of hunting with a self bow. It shoots good, and I made it. And I didn't have any help with this bow. I made it out of a stave, a split stave, still had the bark on it. It's a fine bow. This bow is one of my favorite bows. Tracy Potter made this bow, a guy in Kansas. It's got Osage on the belly and bamboo on the back, no fiberglass. It's a Hillstyle bow. It's got that Hillstyle grip. I love that grip right there. And it's probably 42 pounds at my draw length. It's a little light, but I think I'm gonna kill a deer with it this year, Lord willing. And Tracy does perfect work. He's an expert at this stuff. He actually, with this bow, killed a humongous one of those Kansas bucks with it. I got a picture of it somewhere. It's a fine bow. I like this bow because I love Hillstyle bows. It shoots where I'm looking. I wish it was heavier, but other than that, this is a fine bow. Miss Daisy's over there chasing lizards. She's went from squirrels to lizards. Daisy. And this bow is like one of my prized possessions. This is a Hillstyle bow. It's kind of like Tracy's bow there, except this one is all layers of bamboo. I think there's 5 of them. 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 layers of bamboo. No glass. And what makes this bow is an excellent shooter. The pounds are, it's probably 47 pounds at my draw length. But the special thing about this bow is who built it. And if you know anything about hill bows, I'm sure you've heard of this fella here. It's one of my heroes in archery there, John Schultz. And I really intend on killing, Lord willing, I want to kill a deer with this bow this year to honor this good man. Not only was he learned to shoot from Howard Hill, how to build bows from Howard Hill, and he was a Baptist preacher, so I like all that. And I feel blessed to have this bow. It's took on a lot of string following, and if you'd look how small he makes his tips, that's unbelievable. It looks like you could snap that off with your hand, but I assure you this bow has been shot thousands of times. No telling when this bow was made. A fine bow. I think it's every bit of 30 years old. But this is a fine one. I like it because of who made it. It's there again, a Hillstyle bow. I love to shoot those bows. Has no glass on it. And it's like holding a piece of history. It'd be like hunting with a flintlock that Daniel Boone shot. You know what I'm saying? The master had his hand on that bow right there. The master bowyer, and shot it, no doubt. All right. And by the way, we was talking about self-bows. This is the Hickory self-bow I'm working on here. I've got it dried, a little bit of forward in it there. And I just been pilling with it. I got to work on the tiller on it. I need to see if I can butter Thad Beckham up to help me with this bow, because I struggle with these Hickory bows. But I'm in no rush building it. I'll take my time, and maybe I'll have it built by deer season. If I do, and if it stays together, then I'll try to kill a deer or hog with it. There again, I like those self-bows because of the challenge of hunting with them. Hunting with something you made with your hands, that's really special. And that's in line with what the Indian, the Native American did. This by far is one of my favorite bows as well. It's a Hillstyle bow. It's a string follow bow, meaning that when you unstring it, the tips of the limb will be about a ½ inch back. And I made this bow myself. Got the perfect grip like I want, and good reason for living right there. It's a fine bow. It's got 4 lambs of bamboo in it. I killed probably, if I had to guess, 40 deer and hogs with this bow. One of my videos where I killed 2 hogs and a deer, I was shooting this bow. The doe I killed with the canoe, using the canoe, I killed with this bow. The one I killed behind my house there, the pig I killed right there behind my house over corn, with this bow. I've killed a bunch of stuff with this bow. It's a fine bow. And I intend on killing something with it too this year. I know it sounds far-fetched. I'm naming a lot of bows I intend on killing something with. But last year I didn't hunt that hard. I was busy building self-bows and doing stuff like that. Took probably half my hunting time away. This year, if I run out of arrows or whatever with them self-bows, we're grabbing one of these, because my freezer ain't full of deer meat this year. It will be next year, Lord willing. Another one of my favorite bows is a bow that I owned, I don't know, I'd say 15 years ago, maybe, at least 10 or 12. And it's, belonged to Brother John Buckhart. And he recently passed a year or so ago, I think 2 years ago. Really good man, a good friend of me. He taught me a lot about hunting the swamp. He's one of the original swampers that grew up, raised 7 kids from the swamp. And taught me a lot about the good Lord, about how to treat people, and about the woods. And I'll always remember that old man in debt to him for that. But anyway, I own this bow. He owned this bow to start with. And then we were always horse trading, and I horse traded him a bow and I got it. And then we horse traded back. Some of you guys may know how that goes. And we hunted together a lot back then. And a good friend of mine was looking for a bow. And so I took him around there. John wasn't shooting this one anymore. And John, he ended up with this bow, Gary Batchelor. And then when John passed, he knew how much I loved the old man and gave me this bow. So thank you, Gary. And it's kind of cool stuff. It's got marks on it. I killed some deer and hogs with it. John did as well. But there's one little thing I'm going to show you on here. This bow is special, you can believe, simply because of my good friend. We owned it and both hunted with it. And it's a fine shooting bow. But it's got sort of a recurve grip on it. But it's a 66-inch long, and you can see it's got some curve in them limbs. It's kind of speedy. But it has a line running down at a crack that's been in it. It happened a year after we got it, and it ain't hurt nothing. But I'm going to show you something on here. I don't know if you can see this. These little spots here. John put that on there, and I asked him, I said, what is that? He said, those are my tracks following Jesus. Amen. That's the kind of man he was. But this bow, I hope to shoot a deer with this bow too. And it's just, if I had bought it from a store, it'd be a fine bow to own, but it has a lot of sentimental value, and $10,000 wouldn't get this bow. It's a fine bow. Next, I got a bow by Vince. Made this bow. This is a Mohawk Sparrowhawk, not to be confused with Mohawks by Botany. I used to have a Mohawk, just a plain Mohawk bow that he made, and I killed probably 30-40 animals with it, and I donated it to St. Jude's. I was wanting to, something was on me to give so bad, and I really didn't have the money to spend, so I said, shoot, I got plenty of bows, why not donate one of them? So I did. And he offered me this bow up at a really good price last year, and I bought it from him. And it's perfect pounds for me. It's got all the bells and whistles on it there, and Vince is like, he is like a master of building bows. I mean, it's just beautiful. And the pounds were right on it. I was shooting about 48 pounds out of it at my draw. And it's just a fine bow, And I've not taken it out of this is as far away from the house as it's been right now. So since I've had it, I've not taken it out of the woods. And it's really cool. He has like a tip overlay here. Then he has on the belly side as well. Really cool stuff. Really unique wood in here. Vince builds a fine bow, and they shoot good. And it's got a good bit of reflex in it, but it keeps that D shape when it's strung, and I really like that. But I like this bow, number one, because of the guy that builds it, Vince. And number two, it just shoots good. It shoots, it shoots good. I didn't have to, I put the string on it, and evidently he and I shoot about the same, because it was right in line. Had to do very little tuning. And so I hope to kill a deer with this bow too. But my favorite bow of all the Hillstyle bows is this bow right here. I got got it this year, I think in January maybe. And it's a Hillstyle bow made by Steve Teray, I think is how you say his last name. Sorry, Steve. And it's I've owned all kind of Hillstyle bows, Howard Hill bows, Dave Johnson. I can just name all the different ASL Hillstyle bows I've owned and shot. And I've shot a Sunset Hill, never on one. I wanted one really bad, but you just can't hardly get them. And it up to this point was the best Hillstyle bow I'd ever shot. But I'm thinking this right here is pretty doggone close. This is a fine bow. And I killed the 3 hogs I've killed this year. I killed with this bow. And I had a quiver on it. Man, I really hate to put a quiver on a bow, especially a Hillstyle bow. It just seems to take away from the, I don't know, the maneuverability, and it just don't feel right. And what started me in shooting a bow as a kid was I read a book, Robin Hood, that you pick up like the 4th grade level, you know, book of that. And in my mind, I can see Robin Hood. This is not an English longbow, but in my mind, I can see Robin Hood toting a bow like this and killing the king's deer. And we're gonna shoot some of the king's deer with this chucker this year, Lord willing. It's a fine bow. I mean, a fine bow. And you won't find a blemish on any bow that Steve makes. And this bow shoots extremely hard for this style bow. They're not known for speed, and it shoots a heavy arrow with authority. So this bow is the bow that they all shoot about the same for me. And some a little better, more accurate than others, but I shoot this bow as good as any of them. But the key to it is I enjoy shooting this bow, this style of bow, more than anything. It's a fine bow. You'll probably see it in some coming videos. It's already been in 3 of the others. And this is the last one I'm going to show you. A very good friend of mine, Tracy White. We've hunted together a good bit, known each other a long time, really good friends, love him like a brother. He started pilling around with bows, making bows. And if I had to guess, I'd say this is his 4th or 5th bow he made. And he gave it to me as a gift. And he knows, I mean, we know how each other hunts. He knows I love the swamp. And so this bow it's built for speed. It's a reflex deflex bow. It shoots extremely hard, and I hadn't even finished setting it up. It don't even have a rest plate on there or nothing. And but I've shot it a good bit. For you guys that don't know, you can stick a Band-Aid on that jucker and shoot it to death until you decide to set it up. But he ground all these lambs himself from local wood. And this is cedar from right here in southeast Georgia. I want you to look what's some pretty stuff going on here. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? It has a 1 lamb of bamboo, 1 lamb of maple, and the cedar on it. And the really special thing about this bow, for me, my favorite thing to hunt is persimmons. Early in the year, you can kill 6, 7, 8 deer in 2 or 3 weeks on persimmons when it's hot, if you get after them hard, which is something I hadn't been doing lately, but I do kill 1 or 2 every year like that. This year I'm taking some vacation time during the persimmon drop, and I'm gonna try to fill one of them freezers. But this bow has a persimmon riser. He made the riser out of persimmon. I've never heard of that, but it's got a little weight to it, feels good. That's what's really special about it right here. Thank you, T. White. It's a beautiful bow. And I already can tell I shoot this bow really good. And one thing, and I'll probably do a video on it, but I will not own a bow that don't shoot where I'm looking. I just won't have one like that. And you say, well, how are you going to do that? Well, you can set these bows up by tuning the arrow to the bow to the arrow, both of them to you, and you can make a bow shoot where you're looking. If I have a bow that something's with the grip, something just won't work, and I have to change the style of shooting I do, I won't keep it. I'll get rid of it. You'll get that bow at a discount, because I grab every one of them bows the same. The Hillstyle bows, there's a little bit different grab, but everything grabs the same, anchor the same, look the same, everything the same. And what I do with it, if I have a bow like this bow Tracy built me, is going to be much faster than the Northern Mist Hillstyle bow that Steve built. I mean, it's just built that way. And so what I will do is I will bog it down with arrow weight. I'll have it shooting straight, but I'll add arrow weight so that at 15, I mean, it's going to hit the same, and it'll be more efficient for killing critters. And it probably sounds crazy, but that way they all shoot the same trajectory. Is that the right word, trajectory? But anyway, there you have it. I got a pile of bows right there. I love to shoot every one of them. But the whole thing of this video is which is the right bow for you or for me. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. It's not necessarily the bow I shoot the best. It's the bow I enjoy shooting the most and I get the most fulfillment hunting with. And it boils down basically to two bows. That would be my Osage self-bow, and it would be that Steve Curry longbow, simply because I love the Hillstyle bows. And I guess the bow that Tracy gave me, I'll enjoy it just because of a good friend gave it to me. But I guarantee you, if this were like hard times hit, I couldn't gather meat with a gun, I had to use a bow, that Northern Mist would go with me because it's pretty much indestructible. You won't tear it up. It shoots a good heavy arrow. It'll kill everything from a squirrel to a buffalo, and I'm telling you, it will do that. And I mean, you kill a grizzly bear with that bow. But that's what I had to feed my family on. That's a bow. That would be the one. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a bunch of yapping about bows, and I'm embarrassed to say that that's just not even half of the longbows, and I got that way probably more recurves than that. But I guess in short, what I'm trying to tell you is get you a bow. If you're a beginner and you only got one bow, master that joker and learn to shoot it. And then as you get other bows, don't redo your entire way of shooting to match a bow. You'll go, there's plenty of places you can try bows before you buy them. And if you got to if you're a beginner and you got to completely change the way you shoot to suit this new bow, you don't need it. Find something that matches your style, that you know, it's more enjoyable to shoot if you hit what you're looking at, right? Find something that matches your style and do that. Even my recurves in there are all set up. If I can shoot this longbow, go in there and grab one of them recurves, it'll shoot the same. Simply because I've set them up to do that. What are you doing? Chip up, chip up. That's my girl right there. She's been in trouble. She's soaking wet, so I'm sure she's been down there chasing squirrels or something. Go on now, we're trying to make a movie here. Well, there you have it, my take on longbows. And I'll try to do a video on how you can tune all them bows to shoot the same. And I hope y'all enjoy this, because we're about to go hunting here in a little bit. If nothing else, go fishing. So God bless y'all. Keep the good Lord first, and I'll see y'all next time. Hey, it's about 92 degrees today, and it's only 11 o'clock. I apologize for my sweated down attire, but I've been working on my pool. And actually, when it's hot weather, there's two things that'll tear up your pool or your air conditioning. And I think I got off lucky with it being the pool this time. So anyway, I apologize for being sweated down. I don't apologize for this, but the sweat and the dirt, I do. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I don't know, I'm ready. I can't wait to get in the woods, and I have things that I want to talk about, but I'll get to making some more videos and throwing some things out there. Let me know if you enjoy them or what you want to hear or whatever. And I do know that one thing I'm going to do, Lord willing, is we're gonna kill a deer or a hog on a persimmon. And I'll start when August 15th gets here and it gets small game season. We'll start scouting the persimmons, and we'll name some of them so you'll know which ones they are, and we'll follow up and we'll shoot some stuff on them, Lord willing. All right, y'all carry on.